And here we are in lesson 5, view range, some visibility tips and tricks, some partition walls we'll put in, and we'll also work on a little bit with stairs. First thing, we're going to go back in. Now what I've done a little bit of cleanup here since our last lesson, and basically I've gone in here and done a right click in my different levels and had a look in here, made sure that my scale is set to what I want it to be, and also set my detail line work level to be fine. I verified whether I want to have an underlaid plan, be it a plan above or below, with that particular level. And I also went in here to view range, and when you go into view range, it's really where you're placing the cut plane in the with respect to the current plan. So just went in and did a bit of cleanup here, and this is a really good starting point for most plans. Is your top primary range is the current level offset up by 7'6" above that current level, and then your cut plane 4 feet above the current level, and the bottom is the current level. So basically you're looking from 4 feet downwards. And then we've also got view depth in here. So the only one that's a bit trickier usually is the foundation or basement, because your level is below, whereas you need to make sure that your cut plane is placed properly, and then you might have to get in and play with your range and your bottom primary range. So the other thing you can do is have a look here in the AutoCAD help menu under view range properties, and inside of here you really got to go through these, and these are basically the options that we just talked about, and it gives you a value, a default, and then a description. So I think it's worth everyone's while to get in at some point and have either print this out and have a look at it. You really got to test it out to see what's going on. So I'm going to go to my, on that note, garage underside of footing plan. I'm going to double click on there. I want this to become my foundation plan, and right now it's actually not looking too good because my view range is not set up properly, and also I can see this wall isn't connected either. So we'll take care of that in a second. So for now what we're going to do is we're going to right click in here, do exactly like I said, view range. And my course detail needs to be fine. My scale here needs to go to 1/4 inch. Underlay, I think I'm going to just leave my underlay to none. I'm going to go up into my view range. Current level offset, I'm going to say 2 feet above my underside of slab. Oh, and this I don't have to worry about too much. And that's when I have to go in here and set my offset, this to be current level. Let's apply that and see what we get. So what we have to do here is, this is one of those conditions, because we need to go lower than our current level as the bottom range, because this footing on this side over here is, if you can see my cursor, is deeper in elevation than this one is. So I'm going to make my bottom elevation or bottom line go to level below. So level below my underside of footing. I hit apply. All of a sudden my footing shows up from my the other part of my house, and that's, if we go down here to our south view, we can see what was happening, whereas we're putting our cut plane 2 feet above this line right in here, and then we wanted to change it so that our view range went down to the next level, which was down here. So now we're picking up this footing and that footing. Okay, so again, if we just go to our elevations, we can see how these have all been developed on the side without us ever really going in and doing anything to our elevations whatsoever. So they're all being created automatically for us. So now that we have our basically our foundation plan, we'll see this again when we come down to doing some dimensioning. But what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to go over to the main floor plan, and what I'm going to do, in fact, I'm going to go to the second floor plan. I'm going to cut a hole in the floor, and to do that I'm going to double click on the section here. This is a cross section, and just so I can grab that floor and say edit sketch, it's going to ask me in which plan, in second floor plan, is how I want to edit that, and this is as easy as, what I want to do is I just want to cut a great big hole in here to put my stair in. Just need some room. So I'm going to go to line work in this floor, and I'm going to cut a great big hole right there in the middle of my floor, and I'm going to say finish sketch. Because I don't, and I'm not going to extend my walls up to that. So now I have a hole in my floor there. I'm going to go down to the main floor, and I'm going to right click and go view properties, and I'm going to go, I want the underlay to be actually a level above, and hit OK. And now I'm going to see that hole in the floor above. So now I'm on the ground floor, and I can go in, and these are my section lines here, by the way, so I can probably move these out of the way while I'm working in my stairway here. So we move those two section lines out of the way, and now what we can do is down, I'm on the main floor, and I'm just going to add some stairs in here. In fact, I'm going to make this hole even bigger. I'm going to go edit sketch on here, and I'm going to give myself lots of room over here, try to get my, because I'm going to draw a couple of different stairways. Finish sketch. Okay. Now I go to put some stairs in. When you put stairs in the modeling tab here, by the way, if I quit that, okay, basics, modeling, okay, stairs. Inside of here, I can throw some stairs, and you can do it by boundary, or you can do it by run. For instance, it's as easy as going into here. Now, when I do my stairs, I have to check my stair properties. I'm going from the main floor, and I'm going up to the second floor. No offsets. I hit OK. Click down here. I can pick a point here, and now it wants to know where the second start of my run is. I can pick up here, for instance, and go that way, okay, and create a longer type landing. What we want to do then, perhaps, is now grab this, and then I can say move that from that end point to that end point. It's going to tell me there's a bit of a problem with that, and I'm just going to move that over to there, for instance. Okay. And now I could go finish sketch. Okay, that's going to put that stairway in for me, going up from there. And actually, if you click this little arrow right in here, it'll actually turn the stairway around, so it's going the other way. So now it's going up from this direction. That's kind of neat. So we can do that simple stair manipulation there, and anytime you want, you can click on this stair. That's actually the railing I just clicked on. Okay, it also puts a railing in automatically. I'm going to grab the stair, and I'm going to say edit sketch, and then I can go into here if I want, and I can go in and modify and move these objects around, and then go back and do finish sketch again. Okay, so that's one way of putting a stairway in, and I'll delete that one for now. Okay, it's easy enough to, well, actually, I think I'll keep that stair. What I'll do is I'll move it over to the side and spin it around. It's going the other way. So I could, again, I could just move this from that corner maybe over to there. Okay. When I do that, I can also lock that object in. So now I can do another stair. Let's go back and do another stair. Now in this, again, we can use line work, or we can use curves. I can use boundary, okay, instead. And in this case, I'm really just drawing. I could draw a line and turn my chain on, and you can get your angles, of course, and literally just draw a boundary. Now boundaries do not close, and this is where we go in and we just draw some line work, and we do some risers. And I'm not going to pay too much attention to the location of these risers. I'm giving you a bit of an idea of how this would work. You just add them in, and you can use your offset, and of course it would all have to be abiding by the building code. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think that might do it. Do something like that, just randomly. finish sketch, and the line representing the top of the risers does not intersect one of the bottoms. So let's have a little look at that. Maybe zoom in over here, and I think that could be a problem. These guys here need to be touching. And let's have a finished sketch of that. And please complete adding or deleting the correct number of risers. So I don't have enough risers in there. So that's going to actually let me go ahead, but it's going to put this line in there which tells me I need another riser. So I could click on that. I could go in Edit Sketch, and that's where I could go in with riser, for instance. Put another riser in there, and then Finish Sketch. So Revit is very good at telling you when things are going wrong. So we've got different stairs in there. I'm going to take this stair perhaps. Okay, you can do, again, curved stairs. You try that out with the arc command. So now maybe I do want to start to locate that stair. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, and I'm just going to move it over here into place a little bit more. And now I'm going to go in, I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to close this in onto this object over here. So now what I want to do is I want to take this opening above and close it in onto this stair. So I'm going to click on this floor above here, and I'm going to say Edit Sketch. And that's where I'm going to zoom in here a little closer. That's the floor with the big hole in it, and I'm just going to bring this down. When I bring that down, I'm going to be able to lock that to the edge of the stair. That's pretty significant. Again, I'm going to lock that to there. I'm going to bring this down to there. Okay, I'm going to lock that one. I'm going to take this one over here. I'm going to lock that one. Okay, so now finishing the sketch, I've got my floor. I don't need to extend my walls up. Now what's happened is this stairway that I have in here, if I move it, the hole in the floor above will move with it as well. Okay, so that's basically what's happening here. So now that I've locked that in, and we can do that with more than just stairs, click on that stair, not the railing, but the stair, and say move, and then pick that and maybe move that stair over to there, and of course the hole in the opening will follow that. I'm going to take my section now, for instance, and pull that down to there. Maybe take this section, move it into there, and double click on my section here. Let's see what it's going to do for my stair. There's my cross section. And there's my stair going right up in through there. So now we need to maybe put some partitions on there. Let's go to our other section and see what that one looks like. Okay. Now the other thing we can do is going back to our, for instance, our main floor plan. I can take this section and I can flip it around so it's looking the other way. So you can actually see the other side of the stair. Flip that around. And now double click on there. We have a little different view here of our stairs, and of course there's nothing stopping us from going into here and saying view, shade with edges. Okay, a little different view. Change our materials. Back to the main floor plan. Okay, so we've got some stairs. Okay, now we'll just finish off this section with some interior partitions. So I'm going to go into here, for instance, and I'm going to take that overlay off and hit none so I can have a little better look at my walls in here. Now I'm just going to go in and I'm going to click on wall, and inside of here, of course, I'm in this case I'm going to go 5-inch generic, but what you'd probably do is create a partition wall, go in here, we'd go into duplicate, we'd give a wall name, and then from there we'd go into structure, and we would go in here and we would insert a layer of drywall, and maybe we'd go down there and insert. We'd have to move that one up and move that one up. So we'd have to create a drywall layer here. Might as well do it. And another 0.5 of an inch and 0.5 of an inch. And that looks good, and we finishes, we could change those finishes and hit. The only thing is this is only 3.5 inches, our partition, so we hit OK, and that'll be basic wall 26. Well, remember that. We hit OK, we hit OK. Now we're on the main floor, so we go down and we're ready to maybe draw some walls. So maybe we have a wall that just stubs out from here. Okay, put that wall in. Now we should be checking our properties. Goes from the main floor up to the second floor less a foot, right? -1. So that first one is a bit of a knee wall. So I can continue going in here, adding in partitions. Again, your temporary numbers go in there with it. Draw another partition. Maybe we've got some sort of a dining room over here. Okay, you might want to draw a set of double doors going in. So we go into here and we say door, and we pick a set of double doors. Put a set of double doors in there perhaps. Maybe we'll throw another wall in here. This wall will go over to perhaps to here. We could change the height aspect of that. We need a couple more doors here in our ground floor. So we'll go door and we'll do a single. This size of door looks good to me. Add a door in there. Add a door into there. We need a door going into the garage, I presume. Let's zoom in a little closer here. And a door right there. That door goes in. Cuts everything for us, and then we can just tidy this up by flipping that over. Zoom back out a little bit. Okay, our building's starting to take shape a little bit. We go back to our 3D view here, of course. Now in our 3D view, I'll do a ZE for zoom extents. Now one thing that we haven't done in our 3D view is with our crop box here. I'm going to go into here and right click and go into view properties. The section box. We turn that on. We get a whole different way of controlling our model, because now I can, at any point I could have, and you can grab this section box and you can move these lines in and out. Okay, now we're starting to see a little bit more. In fact, maybe we want that to go right up to the top, so we can grab that, pull that up. We want to see more. Okay. Section through half of the house like that. Okay, and using my shift and mouse button, okay, we can see there's the floor we made, there's the French doors that we just put in, there's the door that's going to be going out to our garage where we need a little bit of a step there. We still don't have our basement floor in. Okay, using just my middle mouse to pan. Okay, and oh, there's a floor kind of sticking out here. It looks like that got moved over or something. We'll have to have a little look at what's going on. It looks to me like it did get moved over. So that's an easy fix. Up on the second floor. So just coming back to the last side over here to have a little better look. This is our 3D model. So what we've covered really here is the getting in some partitions. We can do more, continue along, fairly straightforward. Different ways of getting in stairs. View range, again, we really want to have a look through this in our help menu, and that tends to be a bit of a difficulty when you're first getting started in controlling your view range. And that concludes our 3DHouse start to finish Revit software training for view, range, partitions, and stairs.